Hey, there's Fiona Anderson from Business in Vancouver. Good morning.
Good morning, Steve.
We're talking about business confidence. Not very good right now.
It's gone down the last couple of months. So the Canadian Federation of Independent Business looks at measures business confidence, and they do it every month. And for the last 2 months, it's gone down. It's still better than it was a year ago. So that's good news. And what's also good news is it's the highest across the country in British Columbia. So the British Columbia businesses are still positive on their outlook. So how is it measured? Let's look at the numbers. Across Canada, the business confidence barometer is 61.9. What does that actually mean? Well, what the CFIB does is they look at a scale between 0 and 100. And if you're over 50, that means there's more businesses that are optimistic about the next year than are pessimistic. And the higher you are, obviously, the more companies that are optimistic. A good number, a good range is between 65 and 70. That's what they look for a positive, a hot economy. So in this first board, just looking at the numbers, I've put down Alberta, Saskatchewan, Newfoundland, and Labrador there on the same board because they're all the ones that they're oil-producing provinces, and they're where the hurt the most, not surprisingly. So they actually all dropped about 6 points. In Newfoundland, it was a little less than that. But they're the provinces where the businesses are less optimistic because they relied more on energy exports, actually producing energy. I put BC in the same group because these four provinces are the ones that usually lead optimism. They are actually traditionally the most optimistic across the country. Now looking at the second board, PEI and New Brunswick, I include them because they're the two provinces that actually had an increase in optimism from last month. They're the only two provinces that had that. I include Ontario. Ontario is one of the biggest consumers of energy, along with British Columbia. I didn't know that before, so that's interesting. And Quebec. So they actually have, that's another reason why their optimism is a bit higher than other provinces, because with lowering energy prices, that actually is lowering input costs for many companies that actually consume a lot of energy. And consuming energy is one of the items that BC businesses actually cite as one of their biggest issues. So as energy prices go down, they actually maybe become more optimistic because their costs go down. So what are we expecting going forward? Well, we expect continued low energy prices, increased demand in the U.S., and a lower Canadian dollar. And so that means we expect a shift between which are the most optimistic provinces now. Will shift now into the more exporting provinces, more exporting provinces, and the provinces that consume oil as opposed to producing oil. So we can actually see a shift in who are the most optimistic provinces in 2015.
All right, good. Thank you, Fiona.
Thank you.
If you want more business news, you can go to BIV.com for that. And Fiona will be back in an hour with more news for us. Right?